Good morning. On the behalf of Interim Fire Chief Michael L. Thomas of the Charlottesville Fire Department, we would like to welcome you to the 2022 Awards and Recognition Ceremony. We want to thank those who have traveled to be with us far and near, and those who are watching online. We are here to celebrate the achievements of our members, their hard work, and commitment to the Charlottesville community. Please stand for the presentation of colors by the Charlottesville Fire Department Honor Guard. Now we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for unity and justice for all. Thank you. Now our fire department chaplain, Pastor Paul Holyfield, will give us the blessing.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much once again for the opportunity to come before you and thank you for those that would lay down their lives for others, for those that would pay the ultimate sacrifice as they give of themselves. Lord, I ask you to bless these proceedings today. Bless those that are being honored, recognized for every reason, for every position. Continue to protect them and guide them. Keep them in your hand as they do your work every day. We thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. We would like to thank our council members who are in attendance here today. Mayor Snook, Vice Mayor Juan Diego Wade, Zena McGill, Brian Pinkinson, and Michael Payne. We also would like to thank Interim City Manager Michael C. Rogers, Deputy City Managers Sam Sanders, and Ashley Marshall. Human Resource Director Mary Ann Hardy, thank you. Clerk of Council Keena Thomas. Clerk of Court Lizelle Duggar, thank you. And any of our city lead team members present. We will now have a community impact statement from a member of our community, Ms. Stacy Washington.
Good morning, everyone. I was diagnosed with epilepsy 6 years ago, and after being healthy my entire life, that was very scary and challenging on me and my family. The doctors, they juggled with medicines for about 4 years before they got everything straight. I can remember waking up from episodes to the CFD EMS on many occasions. And I know without them, there's a chance I wouldn't be standing here today. They've talked with me while trying to bring me out of episodes, comforted me when I was afraid on rides to the ER, and ensured that I was okay before walking away. If we had to pick heroes in the medical field, it would be them. So today, I would like to say thank you to the Charlottesville Fire Department and their EMS unit for always being there for me and delivering excellent service. Thank you.
Please welcome Michael C. Rogers, Interim City Manager, and Deputy City Manager Sam Sanders for brief remarks.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Good morning, family. And I always start that way because I know here at the fire department, it is about family. It's about generations that have come into this department and made their way, up the ladder to provide their opportunity to protect and serve in this community. So it's good to see all of you here. To all of the awardees, we thank you for your service and your excellent work and the things that you've done to earn this merit that you're about to receive. I want to thank Chief Smith. Chief Smith, we've worked together for a short while. I see your work, what you've done and what you've meant to this department. We thank you for your leadership and building the team to take us to another accreditation. I think that's important. It's valuable, as a professional, to have your colleagues, certify that you meet high standards. And you were able to do that. So thank you very much, and we wish you Godspeed on your next journey, and as you take over the Polk County Fire Department. And Interim Chief Michael Thomas, welcome. You've been here a short while, but as we looked at your background and what you've done in firefighting and your leadership, we felt comfortable that you would be a solid leader for this department in this interim. I want to say that sitting next to you is the all-star team, Mike Rogers and Chief Carpenter, Deputy Chief Carpenter, who will be supporting you. Those are the three that's going to stand together. There will be no separation, that they will continue to move this department forward. And we thank all of the leadership here for what you do for this city and protecting these the citizens of this community. We heard one resident talk about how valuable the Charlottesville Fire Department is to her. So we thank you, Stacy, for your comments today. Sam, I turn it over. You have any comments? Okay. Okay. So thank you all, and let's have a great award ceremony and recognize these great people who've done so much for this community and in this department. Thank you very much.
Now we will have remarks from the Charlottesville Fire Department's second fire chief, retired Fire Chief Julian Talifera.
First, let me say good morning to everyone. I'm honored to have a chance just to say a few words this morning. It gives me a great deal of pride that I see how the department has moved along over the years. I spent, I guess, 43 years in the fire department here, 34 years as fire chief, which was a long time. Somebody said too long, I don't know. But I enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun, and we had a good fire department, and it's gotten better. And that's a great thing about it. And I want to say to Chief Smith, we thank you for what all you've done during the period you've been with us. And I think most fire chiefs, when they finish their tenure, leave, they like to look back and say, well, did I leave things better than they were when I came? And, I can truly say that, Chief Smith, you have done that. And I thank you for that. And I thank you for bringing the fire department, continuing to improve it. And like I say, we've come a long way over the years, and we got a lot of great men and women in the department, and I know you go carry it forward. And I thank you for that. And I also wish you a great deal of success back in Florida, okay? Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce the Charlottesville Fire Department's 6th Fire Chief, Dr. Hezedine Smith, for remarks. But before I do, let me just read his bio. Dr. Hezedine Smith, he's originally from Montego Bay, Jamaica. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran where he served as an emergency medical service specialist. His fire service career started in 1992 in Central Florida. He served from 1996 to 2020 in the Orlando Fire Department. Chief Smith joined the Charlottesville Fire Department family in 2020 after retiring from Orlando, Florida. Dr. Smith holds a Doctor of Management degree from the University of Phoenix, a master's degree in organizational management, and degrees in the fire service and emergency medical services. His credentials include Chief Fire Officer, Chief EMS Officer, Certified Public Manager, Executive Fire and EMS Officer, and Fellow in the American College of Paramedic Executives. He's a Certified Health Care Simulation Educator, Certified Occupational Safety Specialist, and a nationally registered paramedic. I would like to introduce you to the Charlottesville Fire Department's 6th Fire Chief, Dr. Hezedine Smith.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. As we say in the Caribbean, all protocols observed. I'm filled with emotions this morning. As I reflected on the last almost 2 years here in Charlottesville Fire Department, I actually reflected more so on why did I join this organization? What were some things that attracted me to this department and the community? Our members that you see around the room here and those that are online watching it who couldn't make it today, who are holding the fort down at the stations, that's one of the main reasons for me joining this fire department. Good group of firefighters and EMS providers who are committed to serving the community. Next, the community is why I'm here as well. I found the community to be very engaging, rich in culture, and similar in dynamics in some ways in terms of the geography to my small community in Jamaica. I also want to make sure that I acknowledge the retirees and those who served for many years prior to my arrival here. And in speaking with a lot of them, those elements contributed to my decision to join the department. It's with mixed emotions, though, that I leave the department. I have a mentor, Dr. McCartney. He didn't even know what I was doing today. And I'm going to play this for you. So I say that he's going to watch over this community, my fire department family, myself. All right, switching gears. I want to say thanks to a number of individuals and groups and organizations. The NAACP local chapter here, the Black Chief Commission, Chief Officer Committee, the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters, ICMA, the National Association of Fire Chiefs, our executive development cohort that kind of helped me as I transitioned to being a fire chief, local Dinah Mills, many others. Teron Richardson, he selected me. I want to say thank you for this opportunity to be a fire chief. Previous city manager, Teron Richardson, selected me out of a national search. Mayor Walker, thank you as well. Previous police chief, Dr. Brackney, thank you. I worked alongside you. Chief Telefera, thank you for your mentorship and your guidance and your historical perspective that you provided me as I steered the ship. Jasper, my friend, sorry we didn't get together, and many others. Tanisha Hudson. When I knew nothing about Charlottesville Fire Department, as a researcher, my thing was to go online and look up Charlottesville. Certainly, there's a lot of history here. And I was able to get context from various aspects, and Tanisha provided me context. And I wanted to be here, and I'm here for that. And I want to say thank you. Lisa, where are you? Lisa Statement's my executive assistant. As you all know, she's my right hand. She's chief and a half. She held it down for me. She made sure that I was aware of everything that I need to be aware of and kept me on the straight and narrow path. Her role over the last 2 years have expanded, and certainly Paula, she's joined the team recently and started to contribute to that as well. I want to say thank you. To the CFD members, chief officers, firefighters, JR, I don't see JR here, and all the captains and everyone that served this community in an administrative capacity or in a sworn capacity, I want to say thank you. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention my data analyst, our data analyst, our systems analyst, Lucas. I'm a data-driven fire chief, not by the numbers only, but by the voice, by the qualitative component of interactions with individuals. My executive team, you will carry the ship forward. You'll continue to move forward. I ask that the deputy support Chief Thomas as he transitions in his new role. Members of the lead team, the city manager's office, Sam, we're good. Thank you. Thank you for your mentorship. Mr. Rogers, thank you for sharing with us as well. And all key leadership positions within the city of Charlottesville, I want to say thank you. Whether it's from close or far or near or far, I want to say thank you for your support. I just want to take a few minutes. I want to be mindful of your time, and I'll pass this QR code around so you can see my final update. But I think it's imperative that I identify some key initiatives that we as a team have accomplished over a short period of time. In terms of system stabilization, a few key points. One was already mentioned, reaccreditation of the fire department, an important step in leading organizations, 21st century fire organizations. We worked with the city manager's office to create the first ever emergency management coordinator position for the city of Charlottesville. As you well know, that is a needed position in the city. I want to say thank you for the collaborative approach to getting that done. We solidified various grant processes that included number of firefighters, but also equipment as well. And gear for the firefighters, firehouse subs. We got a grant from Firehouse Sub to supplement or offset our costs to provide gear for our firefighters. Chief Rogers has been very instrumental in crafting those grants. We don't have an official grant writer, but he is our unofficial official grant writer for the fire department. We've implemented what we call 21st century EMS dispatch protocols that ensure equity in the delivery of emergency medical services to our communities based on risk and the proximity of the appropriately staffed 24/7 ambulances and fire apparatus. We've conducted active shooter hostile event training, interagency training that is, with law enforcement and fire, and also our partners at UVA. We have created a professional standards division, didn't exist before. Chief Carpenter held the fort down when I got here by himself. Now we have a team of members there, led by Battalion Chief Blakey, supported by 2 additional captains. We also have an element of that that includes our first ever EMS supervisor at a chief officer level, Chief Graybill. He leads that area with 2 staff members and a part-time education coordinator, or should I say education training officer. We work with the Buck Squad to ensure that they're trained and stop the bleed as they interact with our community. We work with the sister city. Nana, gonna miss you, but we'll connect as well. Mr. Norris, thank you as well for your work with the sister city Ghana project. And one of the other things, there are many others, but I just want to keep it brief. The most important thing, I think, for members moving forward, we established a collective bargaining ordinance that will ensure equitable compensation and benefits and opportunities for retention and recruitment. Certainly, other members of the city will see value in that. But for me, I think it's important for us as a profession to ensure that our firefighters are taken care of. We certainly understand that there are other elements in the city, but as you well know, if the cat's in the tree, somebody's going to call. If the house is on fire, somebody's going to call. We're an all-hazards fire department, and our men and women, our members in the back of the room, those online, I want to say thank you for your commitment. We hope that we'll continue to stay committed to the mission. From a diversity and inclusion and equity perspective, I want to kind of share some numbers with you, because as you well know, I am a numbers person. I've hired 10 females since I joined this organization. We only had 3 when I joined the organization. That's a 24% increase. I hired a total of 41 firefighters, and I think we have about 113 sworn total. So we have a very young department. 36 of our new firefighters have an associate degree or higher now. There's a 17% increase in African-American firefighters that I hired. Small increase in Hispanic firefighters. We have work to do there. Only a 4% increase. We had 1 I hired 2. First African-American deputy chief. First African-American battalion chief. That is history in 166 years. I implemented the just culture approach to not just discipline and accountability, but ensuring a sense of belonging and understanding what's going on with individuals who may violate or may not meet the expected performance level. And finally, improving safety, accountability on the fire ground, professional standards, and EMS supervision in the field speaks back to one of the first few things I identified or I communicated when I first got here. Safety of our personnel, safety on the fire ground, mental health safety, mental health support. But there's certainly opportunities for continued growth because it's only been 2 years, and we have to continue to stabilize the organization. But while doing so, as the quote says, forward ever, backwards never, we need to be mindful of where our opportunities still lie ahead. 43% of our captains, I was talking to Ben's family earlier, 43% of our captains have 2 years or less in rank. 89% of our battalion chiefs are Caucasian white males. We have 1 African-American battalion chief and no female battalion chiefs on the Charlottesville Fire Department. 88% of captains are white males. 3 which is 4%, are African Americans. There are no female captains on the Charlottesville Fire Department. Those are opportunities for improvement. We continue to support the spiritual needs. We added a chaplain to our team in a volunteer capacity. And we solidified our peer support team in ensuring that our licensed mental health counselor remains in force to support the members who are volunteering their time as well. So in essence, 62% of our firefighters, 79% of our firefighters have 5 years or less. Hence the importance of professional development, continued support in that dimension through standards, internal and external educational opportunities. As we wrap up, financial. It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. Certainly, it's a service that we provide to our community. Overtime remains a challenge across the United States for firefighters and fire departments. It's not new to us. Certainly, it may feel a little bit more close in terms of the affect because we're a small department. And I've continued to focus on a reduction in overtime hours. And there has been a 28% reduction in overtime hours. However, on the flip side of that, we talk about the youth of the department, about 79% are young. So we lost a lot of skills and competencies. So we continue to see the overtime numbers for those still up, but we continue to make sure that we're starting to release individuals to drive the trucks and to perform at different levels and different capacities, whether it's the Bravo seat as a captain or driving the apparatus. So those are still opportunities there. In terms of overtime cost reduction, 23% reduction in money saved in overtime costs. Transport revenues for the fire department, 62% increase through the implementation of proximity dispatch and providing more ALS, advanced life support, to our community. Oftentimes, calls are dispatched and it's not what it is intended to be. An abdominal pain could be a cardiac arrest, could be a cardiac insult. And if you don't have the highest level of care on scene to escalate that care, you'll only get a ride to the hospital and wait for interventions at the hospital when they can be started in the pre-hospital environment while en route to the hospital. The unit hour utilization on our ambulance, they're high. Our men and women that rotate on the ambulance, they're getting beat up. So we have to look at ways to reduce that workload. Normally 30% hour utilization over a 24-hour period is a normal situation. They're usually about 25. There's opportunities there to realign some units or collaborate even more based on proximity and equity in services to be delivered. So the reality is the community wants to know when they call 911, how long does it take for the fire department to get there? And what we have done with this new implementation of the 21st century model in terms of proximity dispatching, we have increased, or should I say improved our travel time 16% across this community. There has been a 10% decrease in our total response time in all communities collectively, and 21% improvement in our unit best time based on specific neighborhoods, our 19 neighborhoods. So I say we will just continue to provide the best service. UVA has seen a 40% improvement in their response times in terms of unit best response times going to UVA. 40% improvement since we implemented 21st century principles in this fire department. Fiveville, our community of Fiveville, 28% improvement in travel time, 25% improvement in unit best time. So our goal is to continue this forward momentum. And as we say, forward ever, backwards never. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to share your time, allowing me to join the family of CFD. And now I'd just like to say I'd like to invite Interim Chief Thomas forward. Chief, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
It's not going to be an easy journey. It's not going to be an easy journey. Thank you.
Wait a minute, can I speak? I got the floor. Thank everyone for being here. It never fails. The chief sets the bar very high. And as a token of appreciation from the Charlottesville Fire Department, we have a token of appreciation here that we'd like to present to you on behalf of the city and the department. Your service helmet and signed by the chief officer and admin staff to take with you to display in your new office to let them know. Yes, we will fly that home.
As we talk about protocols, at this time I'd like to invite Lizelle to present the oath of office.
I, please state your name,
I, Michael Thomas,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent on me
as the interim chief of the Charlottesville Fire Department,
as the chief of the Charlottesville Fire Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Whew, wow, what an amazing day. I can't follow such a speech and accolades. However, my career started 1988 when I was 19 years old. Never would I have imagined that I'd be standing in front of you today in this capacity. Chief Smith, thank you for your efforts, your leadership, and your 21st century vision. As I assume the role and responsibility of the interim chief, I want to thank everyone for their trust and support as I take on this new role and the associate duties. I look forward to working with the members of the department, city leadership, the public, and continuing the progress as we move and continue to the 21st century fire department.
I also look forward to working with other city departments, partnering agencies to provide the best service, ensuring the continued safety of all citizens and visitors to our city. I'd like to thank my friends and family for being here today. You've always been there for me through the good and bad times. I would also like to wish my son happy birthday. Today is his 16th birthday. And we still have to continue practicing that driving. And I would be remiss if I did not thank my wonderful wife of over 19 years. My biggest supporter in front and behind closed doors. Thank you so much. Deputy Chief Carpenter. Yes, you need to go with this.
I'm coming.
I gotta get straight. What did I do with my badge? You good? Good. I'm good.
I, please state your name,
I, Scott Carpenter,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully
faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent on me
as the Deputy Chief of the Charlottesville Fire Department,
as the Deputy Chief of the Charlottesville Fire Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Deputy Chief Carpenter has served the department for, well, you gotta get pen. I'm sorry, a little bit ahead of time. Yeah, Chief, that's why. You want to read this? Deputy Chief Carpenter has served the department for over 22 years. In his new role, he's responsible for emergency medical services, for emergency operations, peer support, health and safety, the chaplain, and serves as the Albemarle County Fire Rescue and University of Virginia liaison for service delivery. He recently served as the battalion chief of professional standards. Chief Blakely has taken over. Chief Carpenter has a bachelor's degree of science from Waldorf University in organizational leadership. His education includes studies at the University of Virginia, WISE, University of North Carolina Fire Rescue Management Institute cohort program. He graduated from the Charlottesville Regional Chamber of Commerce Leadership class, Leadership Charlottesville, and the Honor Guard Academy. Chief Carpenter is one of the few chief officers in the CFD who has completed, and this is a mouthful, the USFA O-305 All Hazards Incident Management Team and coordinates the department's tactical emergency casualty care program delivery. Wow. He has contributed to the implementation of the CFD drone program and ensures consistency in the entry-level firefighters testing processes. He's ready to ensure continuity of the department's emergency service delivery at the executive level. Chief Carpenter, congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, good morning. Just want to take a few moments to say a couple things before we get into some of the promotions and pinnings of newly promoted individuals in the department. But before I begin, I want to thank my family for their love and support. And I also would be remiss if I didn't thank my CFD family for their support in this role as well. On May 12, 1962, General Douglas MacArthur said the following words to the cadets at the West Point Academy. Said, "Duty, honor, and country." These three hallowed words dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, and what you will be. These three words can very easily be aligned to the fire service and the Charlottesville Fire Department. However, the meaning remains the same for us. To the employees of the Charlottesville Fire Department, spend some time reflecting on duty, honor, and Charlottesville, and what you ought to be, and what you can be, and what you will be for the citizens and the guests of Charlottesville. In return, I'll pledge to you that I'll do everything to support you realizing your potential. I'm thrilled about the Charlottesville Fire Department's accomplishments in the past, but I'm more excited about what's on the horizon as we continue to grow. However, as excited as I am about the department's future, we cannot achieve it alone. It takes a team. So I'll leave you with an excerpt from an African proverb. It speaks to the value of community. And it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you.
Unless it is.
Lance, is there anything you need? At this time, I'd like to call, did Lizelle leave?
No, she's back there. Liz Elves?
Okay, sorry, we have one more for Battalion Chief Evans. If Battalion Chief Evans could come forward and be sworn in.
Deputy Chief, what's his position?
Battalion Chief.
Battalion Chief, all right. We're gonna wing this one. You're gonna face the audience, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, please state your name,
I, Jeremy Evans,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as Battalion Chief for the Charlottesville Fire Department,
as a battalion chief of the Charlottesville Fire Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Some bio information on Chief Evans. Emergency Manager Evans was promoted to the rank of Battalion Chief effective October 20 of 22. Chief Evans has served the department since 2014. He currently serves as the city's emergency management coordinator in addition to his role as the assistant fire marshal. He holds a master's of public administration from Liberty University and a bachelor's of emergency management from Waldorf University. Throughout his career, he's also served in the following capacities. He's been fire captain, served on the Virginia Air Force National Guard, the Virginia Army National Guard, and prior to coming to Charlottesville, he worked for the city of Roanoke. In his new position, Evans will be responsible for continued emergency preparedness framework planning, maintaining and cultivating relationships with regional partners, fostering new tactical plans in conjunction with the chiefs of police, fire, grants management, crisis management, in the event of a critical city incident. Congratulations, Chief Evans. For the next folks, I'll announce you. I'll start your bio. And if you could come up while I finish your bio, remain standing. We'll go to the next, then when we get to the end, we'll have your family members come up and pin you, and then Chief Thomas will administer the oath. Battalion Chief Chadwick Vingler has served the department since 2000. He's a U.S. Marine, fire investigator, fire inspector, plans examiner, Boy Scout leader, and has served on the critical incident stress management team for the past 12 years. He will transition from the Fire Marshal's office to fire operations and serve as Battalion Chief 1 on C shift. Battalion Chief Lance Blakey, a Charlottesville native with a Bachelor of Science degree. He's served since 2005. His new assignment to professional standards will include the following oversights: ISO compliance, recruitment and retention, professional development, fire training, technical rescue, and special operations. Battalion Chief Mark Ellis has served the department since 2007 in various capacities as the captain in resources on the truck and ladder companies and as the department's Blue Card Command instructor. Mark also graduated from the Virginia Fire Officers Academy and continues to pursue professional education and growth. He will now be assigned to operations as Battalion 2 on C shift. Battalion Chief Jonathan Williams. Jonathan Williams has served the department since 2000. He is an emergency medical technician intermediate and in his final stages of completing his degree from Columbia Southern University. Over the years, he served as assistant fire marshal, engine, truck, tower, and tiller, and hazmat technician. He will now be assigned to operations as Battalion Chief 2 on B shift. Moving into captains. Captain Quentin King. Captain King has served the department for 18 years. He holds a bachelor's of history and is an EMTA. Captain King is currently assigned as the captain on Engine 10 B shift. Captain Justin Richardson has served the department for 5 years. He's certified as a National Registry paramedic. Captain Richardson is currently assigned as the captain of Engine 7 C shift. Captain Kenan Snow. Captain Snow has served the department for 13 years. He's been a valued instructor, assistant in providing training to multiple recruit academies and recently taken over the department's hose testing program. Captain Snow is currently assigned as a float captain on B shift. And Captain Ben Widener. Captain Widener has served the department for 6 years. He holds a bachelor's degree and is a nationally registered paramedic. Captain Widener is currently assigned as captain of Engine 10 on A shift. Congratulations to all.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. As an officer of the City of Charlottesville Fire Department. Recognize my obligation to protect. And preserve the life and property of the public. We serve. And I do solemnly swear. That I will faithfully and impartially. Discharge and perform. All the duties incumbent upon me. As an officer of the City of Charlottesville Fire Department. According to the best of my ability and understanding. Congratulations.
One more time for another round of applause. Would any of you all like the opportunity to speak? Okay. What's that? Let- For them or for me?
That's after you get our remarks. I was hoping I would not be the only one giving remarks today. Don't leave me hanging. Now, 18 years later, I stand before you as the first African-American battalion chief in our department's 166-year history. I'm so thankful for this opportunity. I will continue to serve this department and my community with pride. Since 2020, I've seen our commitment to diversity increase. We now have members who are reflective of our community. This includes the number of women and other minorities, veterans, members with degrees, and many with no prior fire experience, like me when I was hired in 2005. I'm very hopeful and look forward to the future ahead. Thank you.
And one more recognition. We have an acting captain's position to recognize which many of the last three captains you saw, many of the last four captains you just saw promoted. Acting Captain Clifton Dooms, who's not with us today, has served the department for 4.5 years. However, as of December, he'll have 17 total years with the city of Charlottesville, and Acting Captain Dooms is currently assigned to Engine 5 on C shift. So a little recognition for Acting Captain Dooms as well. Okay, we're a little bit behind because of how the ceremonies fell. So we owe some pennies to the recruit class of 2021. So if we could have Firefighter Hunter Harmon, Firefighter Jacqueline Pavia, and Firefighter Medic Jacob Euchers come forward. Jacob's not here. Okay. He's not here.
Firefighter for the city of Charlottesville Fire Department. Firefighter for the city of Charlottesville Fire Department. Recognize my obligation to protect and preserve the life. Recognize my obligation to protect and preserve life and property of the public I serve, and
if their families could come up and pin them, please. Congratulations.
Now we'd like to recognize our newest recruit class, Recruit Class 8. Could you please come up to the front? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our newest recruit class, Recruit Class 8. I would like to introduce Ileana, Michael, Emma, Rory, Zachary, Nelson, Kalela, Jonathan, Andrew, Taiwan, Elijah, and Hunter. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. We'd like to recognize a few of our recent civilian hires. If I call your name, please come forward. David Davies, our EMS program specialist. Quincy Scott, our EMS training officer. And Paula Woods, an administrative assistant. If you would, give these folks a round of applause for their hard work every day. Thank you. Some retirements to be recognized. Doug Clay for 20 years of service. Doug, could you come forward? Hang on a minute. Thank you, Doug. You want to say something? Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
I don't believe she's with us today, but Deputy Chief Emily Policia for 28 years of service with the city. So let's give Chief Policia a round of applause. Next, we'll be recognizing years of service. If I call your name, please come forward. Jason Fisher, Paul Fortunato, Alex Hurd, Taya Mack, Mark McLeod, and Tyler Varney. These folks have completed their first year of service with the fire department, so let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, with 5 years of service, we've got Corey Armentrout, Matthew Darnell, Analyst Lucas Lyons, and Captain Justin Richardson. If you please come forward. Congratulations on 5 years of service, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, with 10 years of service, I'm not sure if he's here, but Cedric Wendleton. We'll give him a round of applause all the same. Thank you. And lastly, with 15 years of service, we have Battalion Chief Mark Ellis and Firefighter Medic Josh Samuels.
Now we're going to do some awards. Jackie, can you come forward? You can just stand facing the crowd. Whew. So we would like to acknowledge Jackie Piper for her assistance and development and implementation of the Charlottesville Fire Department's first Girls Fire and Rescue Camp. The idea of our first Girls Fire and Rescue Camp came from our plan and recruitment meetings with department members and also Flora Kelly from the Human Resources Department. We were brainstorming on ways we can increase our diversity. I went out into the community and met with some community partners, gathered some ideas, and I brought the information back to our fire chief. And he said, you need to do a girl fire camp. I didn't have a lot of time to plan at all. And I needed some assistance. And Jackie came to the rescue. With only a couple months to plan, Jackie was instrumental working behind the scenes and during the fire camp to make our girls' fire camp successful. She worked tirelessly and often used her own money to buy supplies. We paid her back. During that camp, we had 5 young women from the community, different backgrounds. They learned a lot. They learned fire skills. They learned stop the bleed training, how to stop the bleed. They learned life skills. And more importantly, they learned skills that they can take home to their community to save lives, CPR and other things. We want to thank Jackie for her commitment to the department and our community. Thank you, Jackie. Next, can Battalion Chief Joe Phillips come to the stage for a leadership award? This year's leadership award is being presented to Battalion Chief Joe Phillips. Battalion Chief Phillips has served the department for over 23 years. Rose to fill a position of acting deputy chief of community risk reduction until June of this year. Under his leadership and supervision, the entire fire marshal staff was promoted to battalion chief rank and are being recognized today. PC Phillips, we appreciate your dedication to the department and your service to our community. Thank you.
All right. Could I have Battalion Chief Lance Blakey, Captain Patrick Butler, myself, and Firefighter Melvin Groom step forward, please. So this is a life-saving award from 2020. We're catching up a few awards since we didn't have a ceremony due to COVID. I'll go ahead and read the details about this incident of why this award is being awarded. On Thanksgiving 2020, CFD units were dispatched for difficulty breathing. En route, ECC upgraded the call to a cardiac arrest, and Engine 10 and the police arrived on the scene. We were met by screams of the family member to help. She said that her husband was inside in the bathroom. Once Engine 10 arrived inside, the patient was lying on the bathroom counter, face up and not breathing. Police was already inside assessing the scene. Engine 10 asked police to help move the patient into the living room a few steps away, and CPR was initiated by Engine 10. Car 139, Rescue 145, and Battalion Chief 1 arrived on scene. A Lucas CPR device was placed on the patient by Car 139, defibrillation pads were placed on the patient by Engine 10, and shock was advised. One shock was given to the patient by Battalion Chief 1. The patient regained a pulse and was breathing on his own soon after with assistance. Engine 10 assisted cars with placing the patient on the stretcher and moving the patient to the ambulance. The patient was then transported to UVA. CFD later received word that the patient was up and walking around soon, talking on their own. So we would like to recognize these folks with the Life Saving Award for 2020. All right, if I call your name and you're in attendance, please step to the front of the room. Captain Chris Carter, retired Captain Timmy Kersley, retired firefighter Doug Clay, firefighter medic Giovanni Estella, firefighter Jason Frazier, myself, firefighter Melvin Grooms, Captain Lee James, firefighter Samuel Jeffers, Captain Quentin King, Battalion Chief Alan Kuzer, Captain Michael Link, Captain Bradley McDaniel, firefighter Ari Nathanson, retired Deputy Chief Emily Policia, Deputy Chief Mike Rogers, Captain Jamie Shiflett, firefighter John Schreckice, Captain Medic Ken Weidinger, and Battalion Chief Jonathan Wood. So all of the folks you see in front of you are receiving a unit citation medal. A unit citation medal is awarded to an incident that doesn't happen very often, and I'm going to read the details of the incident. So this was for a crane collapse in January of 2020. There was a crane collapse downtown on a construction site where there was a patient injured, and we had some difficulties accessing the patient. So it was an interesting call. So I'm going to read you the narrative here. Captains Kersley and McDaniel made quick assessment of the entire scene, called Battalion Chief Grable with a plan that was implemented. Engine 7, Truck 9, Firamedic 1, and Tower 10 within 1 hour had the patient packaged and on the ground for transport with an open compound fracture to his leg. This type of call is the rarest of occurrence. The crews that day all worked together very proficiently as if it was an everyday call. All personnel on the scene that day worked as one unit to quickly overcome the crane collapse, vertical issues, ground issues, and with a patient that needed quick medical attention, packaging, and removal. Good job by all. So. Could I have Andrew Niss come forward, please? So as I said earlier, we're doing a little catch-up due to not having an awards ceremony for a couple of years, but this is for the year 2020. So what I'm about to read was written in 2020. Andrew's done a lot more since then, but we'll give you the bio from 2020. Andrew Niss was nominated for Firefighter of the Year 2020 as one of the most honest and hardworking firefighters in the department. He is always very kind, professional, and courteous on incidents. He is eager to lend a helping hand to anyone around him, and he is driven. In the 3 short years he has been here, he has completed his EMTA, hazmat school, and has gotten released as an engine operator and Bravo seat rider, and most recently taken it upon himself to go to paramedic school. He has also become an asset to department projects, such as CAD maintenance, uniform repair, production, and inventory. This award is recommended for someone who goes above and beyond what is considered to be the normal for a firefighter. I can think of no better example than firefighter Andrew Niss. All right, and our last award, can I have firefighter Drew Shiflett step to the front, please? He not here? No. Captain Shiflett, are you here? No. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read his information. So this is for Firefighter of the Year 2022. Drew Shiflett was nominated as Firefighter of the Year for 2022, as you will always find him at work at 0600 each workday, ready to allow the next person to go home or to transfer to another station. He has volunteered to work a substantial amount of overtime this year to fulfill the staffing needs of the department. He has been working very hard on his Blue Card Bravo seat packet and was released as an engine operator while only being at CFD for a year and a half. He has completed the following classes within this year in order to become an asset to the department: EVOC 4, DPO, DAO, Incident Command 300, and Incident Command 400, as well as Instructor 1. All of these shows the dedication that he has to this department and makes him a great candidate for Firefighter of the Year. Let's give Drew Shiflett a round of applause. So that concludes our official award ceremony for today. I want to thank all of city management and our friends and family for attending, and we invite you to have cake and refreshments in the back and enjoy some fellowship. Thank you.